provide the service. If the government has a enabling technology or a subsidy or whatever, this USO fund, let me just give you a classic example. If they reduce this USO fund from the 5% to 1% and incents us to go there, I'll tell you, there'll be a lot of work being done in the rural areas.
So the government policy needs a little tweaking and focus to bring the focus back on in a cost-effective manner in the rural. As a telecom operator, as a telecom service provider, I mean, do you see things happening? I mean, from the industry perspective, from your anything concrete happening in this area, or it's again a lot of gas?
I want to share one point. I don't know how many of you know that there is a rural tariff plan defined by the regulator. There is one. You cannot increase the tariff plans, but you can reduce it. Every operator, I mean, why there is a differentiation between the urban brothers and sisters vis-a-vis when compared with the rural brothers and sisters? When the urban friends, the urban subscribers can get less than 1 paisa per second, why can't the rural friends also get the same? The answer is the 5% USO fund, what Mr. Rajan has already mentioned. We have been requesting the government to reduce it to 1%, and if they don't feel like reducing it to 1%, then say 2%. That 3% will make a lot of difference. There will be a reach. There will be reach of infrastructure in the far-flung rural areas. The private operators are already covering more than 400,000 villages. Yeah, already. Now the far-flung areas where there is no electricity, where, I mean, a four-wheeler cannot go, so I don't know how diesel is to be taken there. There are problems, but indeed, yes, everyone is dreaming to be there across the length and breadth, the same kind of, without any so-called discrimination type of tariff plans, all the operators want to provide. And yes, they have been practically implementing it for last so many years, and going forward also, they will be doing so. But as the industry is bleeding, there are certain requests, I won't say conditions, there are certain requests which the industry has made to the government, and inshallah. Thank you.
Yeah, so, picking up this, the rural focus, I mean, if you look at the statistics, more than 65 or 70% of people in India come from the rural, more than 60, I think, and many of them, majority of them live on, less than $1 a day. And we want all the services to be available in the rural area. Who's going to pay? Whether it's a service, or whether it is laying the infrastructure, so on and so forth, And we want the inclusion, the rural people to be included financially, healthcare, education, so on and so forth. How do you bridge this? How do you, overcome these challenges?
No, I think for a true digital democracy or a true digital inclusion of services that you talked about, of education, health, banking, if I may use 3 sectors, I think we all from the industry see this as an opportunity to go there. For example, I can talk from myself, from Reliance Communication, we have set up 25,000 base stations in the rural areas, even without subsidy from USOF fund. It's a different matter, and why we have done that? Because we had to go there and capture the additional subscriber base for our own survival. Okay, so the rural market offers an opportunity for us, and that's what is seen by every other operator, be it Tata's or Airtel or Vodafone or anybody. Some people focus on urban India, some people have to go and get for their own subscribers. Now, there is government has thought about this fund, which should have been used wisely, which should have been spent in the real time. I don't know what the difficulties were, so I cannot say for what it is. So because they could not spend that kind of money, what they are sitting on, still some of the rural communities not having it. I think if only they spend that much, I am sure the digital inclusion will happen instantaneously. So the government has realized it. I think government is thinking of a new scheme where instead of giving the subsidy to the operators and operators providing a service, I think they're directly intending to provide the subsidy like an AREGA scheme or whatever, directly giving a telephone or a telephone tariff subsidy to the end consumer. Hopefully, if they do that, maybe it will bring some relief to the unconnected. So I think there is an opportunity, and government is also thinking, as I said, no fund, 20,000 crores, as you also mentioned. It is for reaching the hinterland India.
The NOFA and the SOFA.
And that is what will enable the digital democracy to happen. That's what will enable the digital networked economy to happen in India. I think the funds are committed by the government around no fund, around USOF. If only that money is spent wisely, I'm sure the industry will complement and go there and serve the community, so that truly our rural societies will have a true inclusion.
Hemant, if I could just add one thing. This whole issue of rural penetration also has a critical factor, and that is the whole issue of identity and proving identity. You recognize that under our license conditions, we cannot activate a person unless the person gives us